Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'm joined by the love of my life. Say hi.
Hi, everyone.
And we went to a event called Day of the Devs on Sunday. So this is a bit of the footage that we shot, playing the demos, our little trip, going to there. Do you have anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, it's sort of like a kickoff event for Game Developers Conference, but this is a totally free thing. So like anybody could come and just check it out. It's really to showcase indie games, and just sort of like it's kind of like a nice little celebration of independent developers and their hard work to go into it, and yeah, we're lucky enough to live within drivable distance.
Yeah.
So, take a nice, beautiful drive all the way up, to San Francisco.
Yeah, I shot more, but we had to cut it. But there was a lot of beautiful, scenic areas.
Yeah, I mean, it is, but it's like, we understand you probably want to hear about the game. So, yeah.
So as soon as we got there was already a line. And I was actually surprised because I thought this wasn't going to be like a huge thing. But once we get in there, you'll see that it gets pretty packed.
Yeah. It was at this big music kind of club event, and they converted it, to be sort of like this really makeshift, almost like a mini E3 kind of thing, or like a PAX thing. I guess it's closer to PAX, but.
Yeah, and it shows you all the games that you can find there, and just the layout. There was like maybe 5 different areas, like gaming areas.
Yeah, because it was split, and then there was like even some who did their stuff like outdoors with
with CRT TVs.
Yeah, that thing was bizarre. I don't think we necessarily have footage of it, but this guy has like this little like box that hooks up to a CRT TV, and you
use a
VHS,
remote.
Yeah, like a VHS remote or TV remote to operate it.
Yeah, but there's some of the merchandise because I Am 8-Bit has like merch that you can buy. I guess like the Overstock stuff. Or
I did not know that they made a Mario movie.
I didn't know
soundtrack
either.
On cassette. There was like Mario and Luigi variants of it. And there was like an NES version of Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah, I actually recently bought that on Steam. It's on sale right now.
Yeah. Which that's just really cool. I mean, they're doing this with Rugrats too, with like they're just making a faux NES, style game, but on a cartridge. But I Am 8-Bit actually has some really good stuff, some really nice collector's editions. That Ori one looked nice.
Yeah, I did. I was like, ooh, look at that. And then I saw the price, I was like,
ooh, look at that. But yeah, like pretty cool stuff there. Like if I didn't own some of it already, but they had some, like I think, socks.
Yeah, some like official Day of the Devs, like their merch, like the stickers, decals, keychain. I think they have keychains.
Yeah,
too.
Vinyls. Tempting.
And then the first one is Breeze in the Clouds,
which is an interesting name for a game that's a platformer beat 'em up.
Yeah, it's actually, the whole thing is pretty interesting because you're basically a corgi who has like these abilities to fight pollution.
Mm-hmm.
So all the bad guys you're fighting are essentially pollution. So you're just trying to like clean up your little world. And the dev was nice enough to give me pointers along the way, like, hey, if you do this, you can change your form into like the cloud form, and you can like go rise up.
Yeah, like I noticed that. I didn't know what was going on, but it looked like you changed something, and like he had like a different colored vest on or something.
Yeah, but not only do you get new like little abilities, you can use the combos specifically for that form.
Oh, okay.
Which you'll see later on in this. I actually use it because he tells me, he's like, hey, you can use different combos for that form. I'm like, oh, okay.
Wow, that's actually very cool, actually. I think that's like, because, yeah, I mean, obviously there's like, it's a big gameplay thing where it's like, oh, yeah, you change into these different forms, put on these different hats,
yeah,
whatever, and then like this gives you that ability, but that it's actually part of like the combat system as well. I think that's very cool, actually.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed this whole comic book art style that they have.
It was a very good looking game.
Oh, yeah, it was beautiful.
And
they do have voice acting. You can't hear it because I'm wearing headphones, but there is voice acting.
Oh, really?
Yes, and there's actually some characters that are speaking Spanish.
Really?
Yeah.
Like just straight Spanish, and you just read?
No, like a word, Spanglish,
like
a word or
Spanglish?
two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's very. I mean, it was funny because what I think is just overall is there was a lot of polish on a lot of these games here.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For being indie games, there was a lot of like these games are pretty much like you don't notice, nothing feels like in development.
Yeah.
Even though they are in development.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like, oh, I'm play testing a game. It feels like, no, this is like a legit demo that I'm playing, and it's, the kinks are worked out as much as they can be for this event. But yeah, I'm just like going crazy for like the art style and the comic book look of it, and you're about to see some combos.
Yeah, you were. I know you were just kind of like playing around, just testing it out. But like, by the end of this, you actually do something like legitimately very, very cool. I think even the dev.
Oh my god, yeah! Even the dev was like, oh snap! He was like pulling off like a sick combo there, and I was like, I'm shocked because you even get like, if you look on the left, you can see these assist characters, and if you press a certain button on the D-pad, they come out and they help you, and they can help you with combos.
Yes, if you're familiar with the Marvel vs. Capcom 1 game, it's reminiscent of that. Hell, that's how I got my name, Assist Me.
Yeah, you should have been playing this too, huh?
Right.
We should have got you playing this.
But yeah, this is a very good-looking game.
Yeah, and obviously I played it because the little quirky character looks like Foxy. As soon as I saw it, I was like, drop everything, I'm playing this.
I
is
thought
the first
it
game.
might have been a fox even. For a bit, I'm like, is it a fox? It might be a fox.
I thought it was, and
Yeah.
then when I looked it up, it was like, oh no, it's a corgi, and I was like, yeah, close enough.
Close enough. So yeah, I don't know if this one had a release date or anything, but it looks like it's on a good track. So
Yeah.
one of those like this. Yeah, I think right here you start doing some stuff.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then with the different assist characters, like you can mix and match and do crazy stuff.
Now, I don't know if we know for sure, but you were kind of like, okay, so the assist characters probably mean not multiplayer?
I assume so, just because you have assist characters.
Yeah, look at this. Boom, boom, boom. And you air combo it, and you juggle it, and you keep it going. It's so good.
I was having so much fun. I never really played, like, Marvel vs. Capcom or whatever like that. I never really played that, but for this, like, just me going through, like, a beat 'em up. And playing it like that, it was so fun.
Yeah, I was actually very impressed. I'm glad this was kind of like the first game. I mean, just because, set the tone. And so this was 2 strikes, very bold, distinct, like comic or manga.
It was like a
art
manga,
style.
yeah.
Art style. It is for those who are familiar. It is Bushido Blade in 2D. So Bushido Blade is a super realistic fighter, meaning that if you have a sword and you hit a dude, he dies in one chop. So it's called 2 strikes because you can maybe take 2 hits before you're dead. I tried playing like this old guy, but he was just super weird. And this other guy I was playing had been playing the game for a while, so he was just, taking my lunch money. So, but yeah, the whole point of this game is that you pick a character based off of. Well, some of them are real. I think some of them might be more sort of legendary samurai archetypes, like Goemon. There is Yasuke, the Obsidian Samurai, is a character in the game, which is pretty cool. If anyone knows who that is, he was a protege of Nobunaga, who was one of the first.
This guy was getting serious. He took out his backpack. He's like, I'm about to beat some
ass. All right, I'm going into a history lesson. You guys can look it all up later. But
it is out now. It's on Steam.
Oh, it's
on
available?
Sale already. Yeah, it's on sale already.
Wow. Okay, I did not know that. That's awesome. But yeah, as you can clearly see, it's just a game where you get hit once. One good hit, you're dead. Two smaller hits, you're dead.
Yeah. After this, me and Matt played a few rounds. Couldn't get any footage because it's just me and him, and I had my phone. But I was doing pretty good.
Yeah, you because it's the way the rounds work. It's like best of 5 because the rounds end instantly.
Yeah, it's very snappy.
Yeah, so it was best of 5 or something like that. Because normal fighting games is first to 2. This is first to 5 or something. I say not best of, but first to 5. Something like that. Anyways, Nadia was winning then was winning the full sets by the end of it. Just so you know, which kind of shows how kind of wonderful this game is, because like it's a fighting game that there's obviously depth. There's reflex like parry buttons. I don't really know how good they are, but like you don't need to learn too much. It's kind of just, it's something, someone who's not familiar with the genre can just, okay, I get it. I come in, I play, I hit you once, I win.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Very distinct, bold-looking game. Like, there's a lot of cool historical figures you can play as if you're into that, sort of romantic samurai era. Yeah, I actually won just a set there. Yay, finally.
Look at him and smile. He said, I won.
I won. So these were some games we just got footage of. We didn't actually get to play these. This is Botany Manor. I know you were interested in this one.
I was, because you can grow plants and basically just like tend to them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wish listed it, and I think it also has a demo. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. But I wanted to play the demo on Steam.
Really pretty looking. This is Doggy Don't Care.
Oh yeah, this is like what, the Goose Game?
Yeah,
it's like that,
it's
but you're a very little pug.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going around causing havoc, peeing on stuff. And I was actually seeing a bunch of little kids playing this.
Yeah, kids were super into it, because kids love making messes and being a nuisance. So
yeah, some adults too. Look at that pug. Look at that face.
But yeah, it not only did it have like the same art style, but yeah, it was a Goose Game. And then this was this. I liked the look of this game. I think Tora. I don't know if it's Toroa. It's an eagle simulator game.
It's very chill. Like, if you just want vibes and you want to relax and just like fly around, I could definitely see. Yeah. Oh, you can even dive.
Yeah, there's like a diving mechanic. I guess you got to dive for food, but
maybe. Yeah. But look how beautiful this is.
Yeah. Yeah. This would it'd be a good VR game if anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't get the chance to play it, but. Pretty cool. Now this was a weird one.
Yeah.
So this looked like RAP. RAP Adult Swim Games is going away. This is like a really bizarre. It's not really an action game. It's not really a platformer. It's kind of reminiscent of a lot of those old PC games like Maniac Mansion. Kind of really old LucasArts style, where it's like you basically manipulate objects to like progress through a dungeon.
This one was beautiful.
Yeah, Isle of Sea and Skies. This was probably my favorite game I played at the show. Unfortunately, you can't hear it, but the soundtrack is incredible on this game, and the producer who you just saw, his brother's the composer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a family.
Yeah, because I know after this you wanted to talk to him because you liked the music so much. I didn't know his brother did it.
Yeah, so okay, you look at the game and you might think, okay, it probably sounds like like an NES game or a Game Boy game or something, right? No, this has like a really full featured like real instruments orchestra, like not orchestra, but like real instruments sound
that's
to
cool.
it. It has a very, very like high quality, like high. I don't know if it's real instruments or just like samples of real instruments, but like it's not going for chiptune at all. It's going for using sort of island Polynesian themed like instruments and stuff.
Oh, that's kind of cool, like combining the two, like the
Yeah.
art style and just like completely different style of music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was super impressed. So the game is basically a mixture of Goof Troop on the Super NES, Star Tropics, and the Game Boy Legend of Zelda games, which the producer said, yeah, those were all pretty good inspirations for this one. It's very just puzzle oriented. There's not really any combat in the game, and it's very direct and to the point. Get keys to move on. So that's why I would say Goof Troop is probably the main thing this game probably takes inspiration from.
I'm always hesitant to play like puzzle games in public because I might not get it.
Yeah,
but I was reading on the little brochure thing that's available on their station that you had, that it's for like all, like anybody can play it. Like,
yeah.
The difficulty kind of like you can change.
And
that.
here's the other thing too. There's multiple keys there's more keys you can get than you need in the demo. So like if If it was like, oh, this is too hard, I can't figure this out, you actually don't need to worry too much about it, because I saw there were multiple ways to get multiple keys rather than just the one. Or it's not like just one set, because like Zelda's like you have like every key sort of accounted for.
Oh, okay. So there's really no leeway. It's like either you get it or you don't.
Yeah, in Zelda. And this game had leeway, like had
I love that. I love when games they obviously wanted it to be like Zelda, but they don't want it to be hard like that game. They want it to be for everyone.
Yeah, and I always kind of chastise like a lot of indie devs who like get like obsessed with difficulty.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, if you like that, if you like the challenge, go for it. But some people, they just want to have like a fun time and just like do relaxing puzzles, you know?
Yeah, I just want to chill out. I want to veg out or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was super impressed with this kind of like a Game Boy Color kind of look to it. Kind of looks like a, I don't know, Game Boy Color game. But yeah, I can't can't stress enough how beautiful the game's like soundtrack really was. Like it was interesting to me that they were going for like a very high quality, basically the soundtrack sounded like it was high budget or for like a high budget game, but it is for this 8-bit game.
Yeah, that's so cool though.
Yeah, it's a contrast, but like a really good one.
Yeah, it's like you go into it, having assumptions, and all of a sudden you get like this amazing score, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
Where did this come from?
Yeah, and I guess that was very intentional by the guy who was telling me his brother. That was what they were going for. They didn't want to go for like the general chip, because I don't want to say that sound like, oh, I don't like chiptune. I do like chiptune. I like chiptune plenty. It's just that like sometimes when you get something that's sort of in a good way defies your expectations. But and I know you're like into portable gaming a lot too, right?
I do. I like handheld gaming.
Yeah, I don't
I like
know.
gaming on the go, even though I don't go anywhere. But yeah, I do like it. I like the convenience of it. Sometimes I don't want to like hook it up to a TV and just sit there in front of a TV. Sometimes I want to be in bed and just like hold a device and play some puzzle games,
So, and I'm pretty sure most of, if not all the games we played here are going to run on like Steam Deck.
Yeah, I mean, it would be wise to do that. I mean, Steam Deck is great. I love my Steam Deck.
Yeah, you had that funny meme from
from Toy Story.
Toy Story 2, I think.
Yeah, because I originally I play on the Switch because it has a lot of indie games, and I'm like, yeah, I love indie games. I'll buy a Switch. It's like, Switch was like $120, sure.
Yeah.
And then I got a Steam Deck, and I'm like, this is amazing because now I have even more indies available for me. And it's like PC gaming on the go. I don't have to have a PC. I don't have to have like $1,000 rig, just to play, something.
Yeah, and for me, it's the sort of, the Switch is great, but like it's getting really long in the tooth. Where like certain games like Cult of the Lamb.
Cult of the Lamb was chugging, and that really upset me because I was like, I really love that game, and I want to play more of it. I want to decorate more, but the more you do, the more followers you get, the more decorating you do. It chugs, and I'm just like, I can't do this.
I'm kind of in that boat of like it's time to put the potato to bed. Like they've really dragged the system out. So here's the thing, like I guess stars, like straight up Mario style. Like
it was like a superstar.
Yeah, you get a star, and the star is like let me use the thing on the previous screen to open that, and I guess that's kind of like beating an area, quote unquote. And then he rides a big old turtle.
I know, I love it. Look at it, they're just swimming away.
It's again, this game has such a great like art style and vibe to it.
This is so cool.
Yeah, like some Death Mountain looking volcano there. Really good stuff. Like this was a plus, experience. I think this is coming out this year. They said it was going to be $20. This was an interesting one. This is the Llamasoft, the Jeff Minter story. So basically has the same people who made the Atari 50th Anniversary Collection. So it has like, it's very much like a sort of digital museum of Jeff Minter, he's sort of a musician who makes games that are kind of meant to be played in a rhythm. They're not rhythm games necessarily. It's not like DDR or anything like that. But he makes games that are very much sort of meant to be played along a beat line, to it. So, I checked out this newer game, or like this remake of Grid Runner, for a little bit. And the thing I'm familiar with is I'm familiar with Tempest 2000 because it was like the best Atari Jaguar game of that ill-fated system. This basically felt like Centipede. I wasn't quite getting all the nuance of what was going on here, so I died pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, that happens,
And then I jumped over to a little bit of Tempest 2000, and it sounds like the Jaguar CD or maybe the Saturn or PlayStation version, but it says it's the Jaguar version, but like the music was way higher quality than the cartridge version of Tempest 2000 on the Atari Jaguar, because I've played plenty of this game on the Atari Jaguar. I don't know, something's wrong with me.
You might be addicted. I don't
know. But yeah. But the game is, for those who, I'm like, so what is the game? If you've ever played Gyrus by Konami, it's basically that. You have like these sort of tubes or planes, and you just you shoot the oncoming things, collect power-ups. It is just like super bumpin', rockin', techno soundtrack. Get double ships. So this is absolutely one of those, like, okay, I'm gonna like pop some LSD, sit down on the couch, and just
I'm gonna take some shrooms and enjoy my time.
I mean, I've never.
Please
done
don't
that.
do drugs, guys.
Don't do drugs. I've never done them, but like this is very much just one of those, like, you could just, like you were saying, just sort of like chill out and just play, because it's not. It's just it's just.
Yeah, I mean, I would play this.
Yeah, it's just colors and it's very simple. Like move along the grid, shoot the things coming down it. That's all you really got to do. There's nothing much more to it, and it's mostly just bump to the music. I don't know if I was bumping to the music. I feel like I was at some point. I was like,
yeah, you do for a bit.
I was like head bopping or something. But so yeah, this one's kind of interesting because you get a lot of game collections, but not a lot of game collections based off one single person. Usually it's like, oh, the Ninja Turtle collection or the Atari collection or the all these publisher. But this was like based on just the works of this one guy, Jeff Minter, who's done a lot of these type of games.
Oh, Sopa. Oh my God, this is beautiful. So this is inspired by Miyazaki and The Little Prince and Coco.
Yeah. And the footage we got here is like, this is not how the crux of the game is. This is like a tiny piece of the game. Some of it is just sort of like point and click, and with like the kid in the house with his abuela, and then
Sulfur. It's like this weird Doom Minecraft. That's the vibe I was getting.
Yeah. So it has a like an inventory system and an equip screen.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you can see there. So
yeah, that one actually had a bit of a line all the time because I wanted to play it, and obviously this is like somebody else playing it, but yeah, it got a line, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to wait for it, but it's definitely on my wish list because I'm like, yeah, I can deal with this. Look at that.
And it's kind of one of those things where it's like everyone wanted to turn and nobody wanted to stop.
Yeah, nobody wanted to get off and give everybody else a chance.
Well, there was a thing where if you killed some Goblin King or something, it said you get a free shirt.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so everyone was like in that shirt.
Yeah, and this is Hermit and Pig. This is like a cute, cozy game. You play as this old man, and you have like this pig that finds these truffles, and you collect mushrooms, and you have like this whole fighting system, which I was confused on for a bit. So you fight, like at first I thought like, okay, you have like presets, you have like certain weapons, or you either find weapons, but it is presets, and they have like this little log that shows you all the attack moves, but it was a little confusing because there was like, oh, the directions are tied to like X, A, B.
This threw me off. I'm watching you and I'm recording, and then like it took me a while to figure out because the move, the special attacks or the attacks in general, are like basically like three things. Like you have arrows and buttons.
Yeah.
So like for example, there's a move called Stomp, and to do Stomp you press YAA. But when you're doing it, it says up, down, down. It shows arrows up, down, down, and you might think, okay, so to do the move, you press up, down, down. But
yeah,
it's
on
not.
the D-pad, but it's not.
But it's not.
You have to press the buttons in order to do those.
Yes.
And then after you input those move buttons, you have to press RT. You have to. It doesn't automatically do it. You have to press RT.
Oh, okay. So there's like an execute command, I guess.
Yeah, and while you're in these fights and it's your turn, you have a time limit. So you have to look up a move, and you have to input a move, and you have to press RT in that time limit. And I kept missing and kept getting hit at first.
Yeah, and I don't know why they have the arrows, showing it like, oh, the move is up, down, down, which is YAA. I'm like, why don't you just say it's YAA? Like,
yeah, like I don't understand why you need the directional.
Yeah, and unless there was like a mode maybe in the final game where like you could use directionals or you could use face buttons. Maybe it's something they want to do where it's like either or.
But after you get past that initial confusion, it's actually really fun. It's a really cute game, and you use like because like the one thing, you have mushrooms, you have all these various mushrooms, and they all heal or cure you of poison or whatever like that. Just think of like Pokemon or something like that. But when you're in battle and you pull up, you're like, oh, I need a mushroom to cure me of poison. It doesn't actually say the description, so you don't actually know what that mushroom does. But in your inventory, it tells you. So you're just gonna have to. So you're just gonna have to like memorize which one does which, or just like just pick one.
Yeah, that could be a little.
Yeah, I would. So I'm hoping that they add a description while you're in a fight to show you what the mushroom does.
Yeah, that would be very much appreciated, I'm sure. This game is very much in that sort of Earthbound vein. Like the plot involves something like you're obviously a hermit who lives in the woods, and he basically lives off the land.
Yeah. And
some girl from a nearby town basically comes looking for you because there's like a sort of pollution plot line where like something's happened to like a factory or something, or like people are running out of food in the town because like whatever their main income or whatever source whatever is gone, right? And so she's like, can you help us, like, can you teach us how to gather food and make food? And there's like you'll see like there's a lot of like, you can always like answer questions like 3 different ways, and there's like some plot line about he's like, okay, maybe I'll go find like a legendary super mushroom that could supposedly feed an army. So yeah, it's definitely got that sort of like, this is not your typical fantasy or sci-fi crazy plot line. You're a hermit.
With a pig.
And a pig
who's wearing a hat.
They both wear little beanies, and this is what you do. And then weird things happen, hijinks happen from there.
Yeah, a bunch of animals come and want to beat you up, and you're just like, why do you want to beat me up?
And it's got that very
like that right there.
and yeah, like you'll notice that like each time you defeat an enemy, it's got like some really comedic reason for the enemy, like leaving you alone or going away.
Yeah, and then each enemy has a I guess specific move that they're weak to. So you also have to just like just strategize that way, like what works, what doesn't work.
Yeah, because you had like 5 or 6 different attacks.
There's 6. Quite a few.
And then like each specific enemy type is weak to one.
But you
thing.
see the timer on the top right. Yeah. It's like you have to look quick. You just have to pick one and try it, and then move on, because the timer. Whew. It was a little, because I was like, oh my god, I gotta do this so fast.
Yeah, and these kind of tell you, but they don't tell you like say which mushroom cures poison.
Yeah. And it also doesn't show the health of my enemy. It shows my health.
Your health, yeah.
But I couldn't see the health of my enemy, so I wasn't sure exactly how much longer I would be in a fight.
Yeah.
In order to help me, strategize of like, oh, should I heal myself? Should I, do this or?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping they add that as well, because that would be really, really convenient and just helpful for the overall fight.
I think this crab thing was like its weak was stomp. Eventually, like you kind of just like go through them. Every time you encounter a new creature, it was like you kind of gotta like. There's a bit of like I feel like there was a bit of leeway with the guesswork where it's like, okay, it's a crab. What would you do if a crab was attacking you? And
I'd punt it.
And I think the crab was weak to stomp in the end.
Yeah, somewhere like pretty obvious, like spider would slap.
Spider was slap. I'm like, I thought Cane would be like the spider's thing, but no, it was like slap.
Yeah. But yeah, you'll see that if you choose one that's not really fit for that enemy, it'll miss.
Yeah, or like it'll do like one. Crab had quite a bit of health.
Yeah, well, I was also like just trying to figure out what I could use.
Yeah.
See, this is me like, what the hell? like that took forever. I didn't even see the health or knew like which move to use. But yeah, I was a little frustrated at the start, but then I was like, you know what? After you get the hang of it, after you realize, the mechanics of it, it's actually really fun, and it has like this weird, funky story.
Yeah, and it kind of does that thing where like it constantly like throws the curveball of weirdness at you. Where like
which that keeps me in games. If there's like weird dialogue or like these eccentric characters, that keeps me in. That keeps it fun for me.
Yeah, there's something to be said for just having like
if I know the developer was having fun with this, if I know the people who created the dialogue was having fun with this, I'm gonna have fun with this.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, I've said that about movies where like sometimes you watch a movie, you can just tell that they were having a good time making the movie.
Yeah, like they were probably laughing the entire time. Like, this is ridiculous.
Like
this
I feel
is
like
so fun.
I feel like you can tell sometimes when like boom 5. See, there's 5 on stomp.
Yeah.
So yeah, so like this crab battle goes way faster. Point.
It's just like, oh, okay, bye.
But yeah, like sometimes you can just really see when.
And those little chicken statues are save points.
Yeah, and I like how their thing is like the Hermit and the Pig just like they just fall asleep around the statue. They just pass out. They're like, whatever. We took a nap in the middle of the day, in the middle of the open.
And I think it also heals you as well. The statue.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like run out of mushrooms, you can go to the statue. Yeah, there's a spider.
The stomp didn't do much.
Yeah, because it's hanging. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can sort of guess too. Like you can just put 3 inputs in and hope it does something,
Yeah, that's what I was doing at one point. I was like, let me just see. Let me just click some buttons and maybe it'll like unlock like a new move.
that'd be fun.
That would be really cool to add like a little Easter egg thing. Like, okay,
like
if you
hidden
just,
abilities.
Yeah.
Like the hidden Starbucks menu. Or
hidden attack move.
Or the hidden menu at In-N-Out for all you Californians with no sense of taste.
Like you were just mashing stuff, but you unlock something.
Yeah, so you get like way bigger descriptions on the inventory.
Yeah, when you're just like exploring, you get more description than you are when you're actually in a fight. Which I hope they fix and they add that, so you know exactly what mushroom you're using.
Because there's a lot of mushrooms. This game is teaching me there's a lot of mushrooms in the world I don't know about. Yeah, and then there was this weird part of the thing where like...
Yeah, he was like being followed.
Like, yeah, like a guy like half dead is like in the basement of this like abandoned shack.
Yeah. And you needed to find like a specific truffle
And I was
to
thinking,
heal him.
I was thinking super morbidly, like, oh god, you're gonna find a dead body in the game. But like, no, it's like find the red truffle or something.
At least that we know of. Who knows? It could be crazier.
Yeah, I mean, this game is a little unhinged.
Yeah, the one thing about indie games is like sometimes it doesn't exactly go how you think it's gonna go.
Yeah, because there's the map screen actually.
Yeah.
It kind of gives you a sort of.
Yeah, because I was looking for the well. It said like, oh, you're gonna find this near a well. So I'm like, where's the well?
Yeah, and it was like one screen over or something, or two screens over.
Yeah, I get a little lost because I'm not very good with maps. But
yeah,
that's a me
like,
problem.
brr.
That's a me problem.
Well, the map wasn't like.
It wasn't very difficult to read, but regardless, I'm just like, what? Where am I going? See, I go back because I'm like, where am I going? But yeah, again, this is just a me problem. I'm sure you guys, if you play this, you're not gonna have that problem.
I don't know. I mean, it's a forest. Like
you tell me a direction, I'm just gonna stare at you like, just point, just point to where I need to go.
That way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's the well.
Yeah.
But there's an interesting mechanic here because it's.
Because you need the pig.
You need the pig.
You need the pig to show you where this truffle is, and it's gonna dig a hole for you. And I was like, okay, well, what do I need to do to trigger this pig?
Yeah,
because it'll have like a little exclamation, but there's no mushroom or anything, for it to, for me to collect. So I'm just like, okay, well, what?
See right there, the pig gets a little thing above his head.
So I'm like, okay, well, what button do I need to press in order for the pig to do its thing? And I still don't know what button. I was just pressing all these buttons.
Okay, because I was gonna ask what button. So what button?
I have
was
no
it?
idea. I'm gonna tell you right now, I have no idea. I was pressing every button on the controller. See, this is me. Like, I have no idea what.
And I was saying, like, there's a thing above his head. There's a thing like this little ting. a little ting pop. And so the pig goes, and okay, he does this, and it's like.
Yeah, and then it does a little digging, and then you collect it.
It's kind of like the dog in Fable 2, if anyone played that game. You have like a dog companion. You can like have it go dig stuff up. You like sniff stuff out.
But again, most of this is just a me problem because I'm not too familiar with. I'm a very casual gamer.
Well, I mean,
I'm very straightforward.
And honestly, when you're at events like this, you're playing like a rapid succession of many different games.
Yeah,
so,
and
like,
then there's people behind you waiting or staring at you, watching you play, judging your every move.
Yeah. So I mean, sometimes it's kind of like, okay, we've bounced from a beat 'em up to a fighting game.
Yeah, there's really
like
something for everyone.
Yeah, like a rhythm shooter game. Like we've been bouncing around genres, at this event. So like, yeah,
this dialogue with this guy, it was so funny. I was cracking up. And then you can choose how you want to answer, and based on how you answer, he'll react a certain way.
Yeah, this guy's very much one of those like government came and government follow me,
Yeah.
signs are everywhere.
The signs are everywhere.
But yeah, so they're like, the timer is going down on them. So I don't know what happens when the timer reaches 0. I don't know, maybe whatever you're highlighted on is what it's going to answer as.
Yeah, but there is one point where I said something and he didn't like it. So.
I think it was because like, hey, can I come live with you? And you're like, no.
Yeah.
And there was like guys to my right, like especially at the beginning of this video when I was trying very hard not to have them in shot or like bump into them. Because this was kind of a crowded like main hallway of the event.
This is the hallway where you go to and from each of the different rooms where the games are set up. Mm-hmm. So it's very active hallway. But they had stations there, so if you're waiting in line, you kind of have to like be at the side.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's a good. There's a good example of like there's dialogue branches and trees.
Yeah, this is the healing spot. Cause I was like, I'm just gonna heal. I'm gonna heal and save. You never know.
Hermit Pig just like
just conked out.
And look at like all the little eyeballs.
Yeah, they're just looking at you. That's how it feels when you're playing a demo.
This is the demo experience.
Literally how it feels. And I'm the spider being slapped. But yeah, it's just like this cool little area, and you get like all these different like moles and scorpions and.
Yeah, this was funny. I was like, oh god, would it be stomped?
Right? Like you kind of feel bad. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stomp on this, or I'm gonna kick this, or something. But I don't know. It's like very comedic with it, like that, like his face. Aw. Yeah, two hits of that. He was done. He was like, okay, I'll see you.
What was interesting or kind of weird was that like pretty much any animal could poison you.
Yeah.
I noticed that. Like it wasn't just like the scorpion poison you. Like every animal.
Yeah, it
could
wasn't
poison
very
you
realistic
eventually.
to where like obviously a scorpion, but there was a point where a fish.
Yeah,
A catfish poisoned me, and I'm like, how? How did this catfish poison me?
Like what?
But yeah, like I guess like the longer you're in a fight, the more likely it is that you're going to be poisoned.
Yeah.
So if you choose a attack and you hurry up and beat it, you're not gonna get poisoned. But if it's drawn out, it's more likely that you're gonna
Yeah,
get
it's almost kind of like a hurry up.
Yeah, it's like pick one, let's go, kill it, move on.
I like kick it. I like kick the scorpion. Don't kick scorpions, Chad. If you see a scorpion in the wild, just leave it alone.
Honestly, with anything, just leave it alone.
Pretty much.
Leave it alone.
Pretty much.
You're out in their space. Yeah, and then I just like healing before I continue on.
So, do you think people who are big truffle aficionados might take issue with what he decides? Which mushrooms give you more health?
You know what? Yes, I'm kind of curious. Like people who know about mushrooms, like how they feel about like what their ability, like what they can do for you.
Yeah, like how, like
or where they're even found. You know. Because they say like, oh yeah, truffle would be by the well. Will they normally be by like somewhere damp? You know?
Well, because like you get to areas in the forest, there's just like every kind of mushroom is just all in like one spot or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure it's not like poor mouse. I'm sure it's not like hyper realistic in that sense, but like yeah, like I wonder if the creator of this game has his own like internal tier list for mushrooms, and like the mushrooms he likes the most give the most HP.
I would love to know that. And that's the type of information that would be fun to know. You can do a little swimming. Look at my little pig swim.
Yeah, and we pretty much got our feed cut off here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so here was this game that was like indie, like okay, this is something like only an indie game could do, which is have a completely artistic FPS like this that looks like the game is being drawn as you're playing it, kind of thing.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Not really sure what was going on, but that's kind of like the fun of some indie games. It's just like not really knowing.
It's also like you have to match the shapes apparently, because you have like, the triangle, circle, square.
Because it's actually a puzzle game. It's not really so much of a shooter. The EOS game, which is just another one of those. So this like they kind of had games in sections a bit, where like if something was very puzzly.
Yeah, they were like in the same row.
Yeah, this was like the puzzle lane row.
And I like that. I think that's fun.
Yeah, because like we had the fighting game, Two Strikes, was next to two other, like a 4-player fighter and like a more traditional.
Yeah, so some of them were grouped up, and then some of them were just kind of like sprinkled around.
Yeah, so they kind of tried to like organize it a bit with like-minded games near each other, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I think I tried to get Sopa here. There was so many, there
were so many people.
I got lost in the crowd there. Oh my god.
Oh, this one.
Angerfoot.
Oh man, this one is interesting. I kept dying because you have to use the keyboard and mouse.
It's a one-hit game too.
Yeah, so there's no like making a mistake. But the E is right next to me moving forward.
Yeah.
So my brain just could not comprehend which button to press.
So the
But I'm having fun. I like it. If I were like home and like doing it on my own, I would be so down for this. But there was such a long line, and I'm like, you know, freaking out because I'm like, I'm not doing so good. But I enjoyed it. I really liked it. It's on my wish list.
I can't wait to play this on a controller. Because, like, yeah, the E being right next to forward, like, threw me off, like, hard, because it's like I jump into. So the point of this game is, like, you run through these, they're short levels. And you're supposed to run through, you're supposed to kick a dude, kick doors down. And then anyone who has a gun, if you kick them, you take their gun.
Yeah, and so then you start using a gun, and you can also kick.
Yes, you kick and shoot. So it's called Anger Foot. So, I mean, I kind of love the name.
Yeah. And it's not necessarily a horror game, but there was like little horror Easter eggs throughout. Because there was the shining carpet.
Yeah, you like that's.
And then there was a poster of Maniac Cop.
Yes.
And I'm like, whoever made this really likes horror games, or like horror anything really.
And I don't know if we get it on footage, but like, if you die in
oh, we do get it. It is so fun.
Okay.
But yeah, you're gonna see when you die, they're gonna start they're gonna emote on you.
Yeah.
It's like Fortnite.
Yeah.
When they dance on you.
The enemies, like, if depending on how you die, the enemies will twerk over you. They get like toxic over you. So you get like these lizard men that are getting like all toxic over you.
They're just dancing by your dead corpse. But yeah, it's so fun.
So yeah, kind of like physics based. And the guy behind me was like laughing his ass off when he saw it, because he was like, "Oh my God, they're like doing you so dirty."
But yeah, you're doing better than me. But yeah, see how he's like dancing?
Yeah, like they do different types of dances, and if you just hang there, they'll change their dances. I guess that's the shining carpet.
Oh, I didn't see. I missed it. But probably, yeah.
Donk. Anyways, this was a ton of fun. It's ragdoll physics and everything. Just cannot wait to play this on a controller.
Yeah, you're just going room to room, area to area, just kicking people.
I don't know what the story is with this guy, but he's clearly had enough of his loud neighbors.
Probably. Can you imagine? Oh, see, they're grooving.
Yeah. He was starting to twerk there, but yeah, like.
And this fighting game, it looks so fun.
Yeah, this game's called Drag Her. It's a drag queen fighting game. And this is definitely one of those that can only exist in the indie space, because the dialogue between the characters is just like, yeah, no publisher would be okay with this. Like, it had to be like, it gets really crass. Like, these characters get like into it with each other. But yeah, this was like the traditional fighting game there.
Basic. I love that when you do the combos. And it's just
Yo, so basic.
Okay, sis. I love that. I have this wish listed too. I have so many games wish listed. I was just looking at them like, I want that, I want that, I want that.
So this was not us playing. We were watching it, because this had a huge line as well.
Yeah, because it was right next to like all the other fighting games.
And it looked like K-Ho. And it's funny because it looks kind of crude initially, but then there's like some really good animations in it.
And this one you were excited to play.
This one people were really prompting me to play this game. AI Code. There's a single developer game, so because it's very much the most we have near at home video game I've ever played.
We have near at home. Oh no.
Now, I mean, after playing the game, I'm gonna say this: like, you're not gonna like convince anyone that that this game is like, oh, this game is just as good or as polished as it's not. It's one dude. It's very impressive for a one dude game.
For sure.
But it if you think it's gonna be like better or equal level to like a highly produced video game that was made by like 100+ people, no, it's not. It's very, very impressive for what it is, though. But the demo was frankly bizarre, because it was like watching a movie trailer. because they kept skipping to like different characters and different points, and the dialogue was not flowing continuously at all. It was all just sort of like heavy, weird, metaphorical like statements, just sort of not connected, just sort of one after the other.
Yeah, because there was a point where you're just kind of like answering these prompts.
Yeah.
And I don't know if like you choosing a certain one leads you somewhere else, or like how that works.
Yeah, I don't know. Eventually we get far enough into the game where there's actual combat, and it's fine, but like it's pretty floaty feeling for a character. I mean, it does go for the character action style combat, and it kind of works. It definitely feels a little floaty. Like if I were to give any sort of like feedback, I would be like, I would want the combat to, like, the hits to feel a little more impactful. Because when you're hitting things, it kind of just feels like you're just sort of shadow boxing.
Yeah, like you're hitting air.
Yeah. You're just sort of like swinging at air, until the thing.
Yeah, I'm the same way. That's why I like beat 'em ups. I want that impact.
Yeah, and very impressive here. Like, I found a guitar on a bench, and there's a whole guitar minigame. It actually controls better than Rebirth's guitar or piano thing. But this was actually really impressive. But like, I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna freestyle on a guitar. I can't play guitar in real life, let alone on a video game. But so yeah, like, it just jumped to this other character in this sort of steampunk fantasy setting with a little robot bat.
I like the little robot bat.
Yeah, like,
it looks like a little snitch from Harry Potter.
Oh yeah,
just like floating along with you.
Yeah, so it just sort of like, it just jumps from like scene to scene, location to location. I mean, I don't know, like, I kind of, what I could sort of gather out of him, it was in English, it was voice acted. It's Ghost in the Shell-ish. Like, it's like AI code trying to break free of its digital prison or whatever. Because as you can see, like, the game, it is very trippy, in sort of a cool way. But yeah, like, there was you could not follow what was being said at all. Like, it felt like it was like chunks of the game at different points in the game, just sort of like loading into different parts. Like, maybe that was done intentionally for the demo. If this is like how the game is meant to be played, good luck. Good luck trying to follow it. Yeah, so this happened, and then like so now they're introducing combat to you. Before it was like walking around Shibuya, and then it was like playing a guitar in a steampunk world, and now we're doing kind of basic combat. And this character like skates, like skates on air, cover skates, I guess. I don't know. Again, very impressive for the one guy, the one guy making it on his own. I have no idea about price, release, whatever. I don't think it's out. I think it's one of those, like, still in development. Because, with, again, one guy, Lord knows how long it might take to get finished. Because games are hard.
I mean, this looks great for one guy. But yeah, these are the prompts that you have to answer. I'm kind of curious if there is, like, different paths based on what you choose.
Yeah, the yes or no thing.
If there is, then man, person's gonna be working on it for a bit.
And then you'll notice a lot of, like, after a certain point, it was yes and yes. Or instead of asking me like these weird metaphorical questions, like, they didn't give me, it was the answers, the response were yes or yes. And then again, like I said, it kind of, this demo or this build, it played like a movie trailer where we're just sort of like hopping between different things. It's like now we're in a completely different environment doing completely different things. Not really completely different, we're still fighting now. But yeah, I'm trying to they have a cool launcher system, and they have like you can launch them and you can like spike them to the ground, which for me that was actually fun, because usually it's kind of like you launch people in the air and then like you do the air combo and then you both just kind of like fall down rather than like knocking the person down to the ground. It's just that was a nice touch. Yeah, and then a boss fight comes up here, or no, before this person like air skates. This thing looked very, very Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, and there's cats just like hanging out, and you can either pet them or kill them.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like, you know how they have pet the dog? Can you imagine, like, can you kill the dog or something?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, this was where the game tried to get like a little edge. Just like kill the cat, and yeah, like you could just kill the cat.
Yeah.
Any of these cats along this rail, you could pet or kill them.
And there's a funny little glitch that happens when you're petting it, but it looks like you're petting its asshole.
Yeah, right here.
right here.
I gotta pet this cat, like, you know.
Oh, good cat.
Good cat. Yeah, and then I'm a fairy in the water. Again, it's very nonsensical.
I mean, if you're into, just different environments, I think you'll like it.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
the constant changing. Some people like that. Some people like, the freedom of just experiencing something, just having it come as it is.
And I'm very much big on having a variety of environments in a game. I hate games that have one.
Yeah, like you're stuck in this area the entire 5 hours.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
I mean, I get it for certain games. It's actually it's definitely good. Like something like Amnesia: The Bunker or something.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely works, and I have no problems with that. But if it's like a platformer or an action game, definitely an RPG, I'm like, I don't want to be in the same place for the whole game. Like, please, no.
I think this is where you fight a boss, right?
Yeah.
Because there's 2 different difficulties.
Yeah. There's 3 actually.
Oh, there was? What was the third one?
Third one was 1 hit.
Whew. Yeah, no.
Yeah, it was like normal, hard, 1 hit.
Well, there you go. For all you people who like challenges.
I was not a fan of the controls. So they wanted you to shoot. Shooting is R1 or RB, and dashing is RT. So you kind of have to mash your middle finger and your pointer finger have to sort of mash the 2 R buttons on this boss fight, where I would much rather have the shoot because it's near automata style shooting. You just hold it down and they auto shoot towards something. So I would much rather have it have been on on the left side, left LB or left trigger for shooting and then right trigger for dashing. That was finagling. There's some, I assume there'll be button mapping in the final game. But yeah, I mean, I think people will like it, especially if you like I guess let's call it the art style of Nier Automata, I guess, or things like that.
Or giant women dancing.
Yeah.
if you're into that too.
I was kind of getting into the boss, but I noticed behind me there was a crowd, and I was like, I think these people want to play. So I didn't keep going until I beat it, Because that's the thing is you don't want to be that guy, that ball hog, with the controller.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're doing really good. There's a lot of really close calls where it's you almost got it.
Yeah, I might, I would still check it out, whenever it comes out, if anything, I just kind of.
Yeah, it's trippy how the screen, when you get hit or whatever, it does that. That's so cool.
Does style, the game has stylish stuff dripping out of it, from every angle.
That's you.
I'm I'm pretty sure I can get this.
What were you thinking in that moment when you looked at me? What were you thinking? You're like, I'm gonna murder this.
I was
this giantess.
I can do this. Well, I think kind of like what you think. I'm man, I don't want to look like I don't know what I'm doing here.
That's why I was staying away from puzzle games. Because I was like, no, I need to be in the comfort of my home with like nobody staring at me to do a puzzle.
But yeah, like you see, I run up and I'm just sort of like dancing on this boss when I'm attacking them. I kind of wish, because like the characters aren't holding any weapon. They basically are just.
They're just dancing on you.
They're just dancing on you. It's a little weird.
Like I said, if you like giant women dancing, there you go. How was the music?
Pretty good.
Did it fit her style of dance? It seems more like this like ballet type though.
It wasn't ballet music. It was more of that sort of like Ghost in the Shell, sort of like creepy techno ambient kind of feel to it. It definitely had a very Ghost in the Shell vibe to the music. Not as much Nier style music, more Ghost, because Nier is like operatic almost. And
yeah, it is. Yeah.
And this was a little bit more like heavy on the sort of like weird techno. I don't know. Weird techno is the way I kind of describe Ghost in the Shell music. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, there's a bunch of people waiting. I don't want to be. So here's a couple other games. Constance was like these were like two Metroidvanias, kind of like put right next to each other. This one looked like had a very I don't know, like cartoon animated looked really good as far as just sort of like the general like animation and the character art style, I guess. But yeah, like this one is like you look at it and you know exactly, oh yeah, definitely a Metroidvania. Or Ori, you know, if you're, you know, because I know you've played through Ori and stuff. So.
Yeah, I played through Ori.
And you actually played Hollow Knight.
I did, and then I stopped halfway because I was like, I can't do this.
Oh, Hollow Knight's
it's a little too hard.
Speaking of Hollow Knight,
yes.
Here's Crowsworn.
Does this look familiar?
Here's Crowsworn, which was basically, I feel like some indie developers like, fine, I'll do it myself. While
Here's
waiting,
your Silk Song.
Yeah, waiting for Silk Song, he's like, fine, I'll do it myself. They have like this interesting little mini game to open the chest. You have to like sequence time X like 3 times. Boom, boom, boom. And then he gets a scythe. Corvian scythe.
That looks cool.
I gotta say, like, the combat actually looks really good in this. Like, the things he was able to do with the combat side, I was like, oh, schnapples. Like, this looks pretty good. This is very much like, okay, I don't know where Silk Song is. I don't know if Silk Song's ever happening, but Crowsworn, you know, might just fill that hole in your life.
Yes.
Speaking of.
And
filling.
Our day is over, and we're going back to my little love, Foxy.
Foxy, she was waiting for us. She wanted us to hear all the news.
But yeah, we really enjoyed our time. The event posted on Twitter all the games you can wishlist. So I'm gonna put that in the description, so then you guys can look through and wishlist some stuff, enjoy it, play some demos, because some of them are still available.
Yep. So that was our day of the devs.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining me.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Or thank you for anyone who's listening, watching. And,
yes. Thank you guys.
Thank you for making me aware of it.
Yeah. I love indie games. So check them out.